Hey, we're the Smiths, and we have been married 22 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Have 2 kids, 2 dogs, 3 chickens.
Got married January 3rd, 2003 to the girl that I chased since I was 15, and she finally wised up around the age of 26.
To me, money represented a sense of security, which is important to me to feel safe. And I just took on the responsibility for so many years of my life to take care of myself. I was older when we got married. I'd been doing it myself for so long, and I did not want anyone else doing that for me. And I trusted God, but I didn't trust him with the person that he provided to come alongside and do that with.
Money didn't have a ton of value to me, so I was willing to share that, give it away, spend it on just about anything or anybody. On the flip side was Steph, where she knew how much she had in a jar of coins to the penny.
That's true. Over the next few years, I got into real estate, and I actually started really having great success in my career. And money was starting to come in, and it felt like things were going well. I was still controlling things at that point, but
I used to flip houses for a living, and that stopped because the market took off and there wasn't that ability to do that anymore. So Steph kind of forced me to get into real estate. So I got in. I had nothing else going on, figured why not? And the day after I got my license, it's as though the lights in every real estate office shut off. The market turned like the very next day. And we rode that to the very bottom and lost everything. Our house, everything we had saved and set aside. I remember sitting on our front porch of a house that we bought and Steph crying because we didn't know how we were going to make our house payment. And I remember the last time we were getting ready to make a payment, I said, we can't pay it. If we pay this, we don't eat this week. And I remember sitting out there and her just weeping, and I was like, what have I done? Where have I taken my family? And it wasn't due to us doing anything dramatic. It was just the market, real estate, everything changed. Nothing will strip you of your man card faster than knowing that you have no gas in your car. You're eating ramen noodles twice a day, and you can't provide for your family.
During that season, because for me, money was security, it was everything in terms of feeling safe. It really put me in a position to have to trust him. I didn't have any other choice. Everything had been removed. And I think that that's sometimes what God does in our lives. Like, he has to do that sometimes. He stripped it all away. And we had no other choice but to trust him.
And I remember one specific night where I had been wearing the burden of providing and feeling like a failure on so many levels, and literally sweating, laying in bed and just giving up and saying, I'm done. And I literally got out of my bed, got on my knees, and just prayed and just wept. And just told God that I couldn't do it anymore. And finally just came to terms with letting go of it and giving it to him 100% and being like, it's yours. I can no longer carry it. And he never asked me to. That's the stupid thing, is that I'm not a control freak, but I hold on to think I'll do it. And once I just gave it away, it seemed like the weight of the world had finally been lifted. And it seemed like within, I don't want to say days, but weeks, it seemed like things slowly just started to just change.
After going through what we went through and not having anything, we knew that something had to change and be different. So we got on a budget, we got on a plan. Like I was saying, we did the cash thing. That's what worked for us. We didn't want to have we didn't take on any debt. If we had a credit card bill, we only purchased what we could afford to pay off. But being in that plan, we also put people around us to help guide us. So we have so many people in our lives that are a few steps ahead of us that have shared their wisdom with us. Mm-hmm. So now we took all those tools and put them in place to put ourselves in a situation so that we wouldn't go back to that, because there's nothing like that kind of fear to motivate you to do things differently.
And it's easy for me to fall back in fear of the financial side of things just because of coming from where we've come from, that when you hit snags, you hit bumps in the road, you start to hold everything in and think, okay, I got to control things. And I'm like, no, I remember how that, played out or whatever. And it's been interesting to see that just being smart and being good stewards with our finances gives us the opportunity to bless so many more people. And we're blessed beyond measure, not because of finances, but because of our relationship with the Lord, our relationship with one another, our relationships with our friends and families. That's where I'm blessed.
That's the temptation, is to make it about being financially free and not having any burden on that. But really, it's about the freedom in Christ that you get when you release the thing that you hold the most tight. And for so many of us, it is money, because that's what makes the world turn. At least that's what we think, right? And so we think we have to be in control of it. But I can't tell you how many people we've challenged to lay that aside and to give and trust and watch what God does.